Sandra Vukovic, who is online following us. It's going to be a fantastic conversation. You're going to hear all about global trends in marketing for 2023 and 2024 as well. Natasha has been working with the big guys from international markets for quite some time. And she's been really very much being at the edge of the trends. But with Alexandra, we'll actually address a lot about how those trends refer to Serbia, how we can implement them, and what that actually more specifically means for smaller businesses and startups that we very well know here are always struggling and always having a massive challenge in terms of their big needs, their big objectives in terms of market that they want to achieve, and on the other hand, the very, very limited resources. I would love for also Alexandra and Natasha to share some thoughts about talents, right, in the region and available to us, and how to grow those talents in the marketing marketing arena. So without further ado, I would ask Natasha here to maybe just introduce yourself very quickly for 1 minute, and then we can just jump into the discussion.
So many people here. I have experience that can help both startups, small companies, and startups that on a bigger level. Because I'm working in a small company, but I've been also working with a really big names like Google, Netflix, CBC, NBC, and all the other really big names in the market. I completely understand the differences between market in the Western Balkans and globally. And I know that it's completely different strategy, and the tone and like messages that you need to share with your customers and your clients is completely different in Western Balkans and globally. But I really liked what I was listening before and what was Eric said. It should not stop you to think globally, because there are no limits anymore. There's no reason why you should focus on the Western Balkans. So we will talk soon about all the things that you can imply. But what I think is, and what I said to all my colleagues in December, is that everything with you.
I'm sorry, Natasha, maybe
Okay,
this one will work better.
Okay, it's not working. It's working. Everything that we knew in marketing until December is now changing because of AI, and it's completely different strategy that we need now than we needed in 2020 and in the years before. So
can you talk a little bit about that, and then we'll go to
Yes.
Alexandra.
Yes, well, what I've noticed in work with so many clients and customers and startups is that it was so much physical everything until the coronavirus. I mean, few of us were working like in digital world, but it was not so popular in Western. In Western Balkans. So what we did actually, we were all working for global companies.
Yes.
So very few of us were working here. So when coronavirus started, we had complete change and shift to digital world. So everything was digital for a period of 2 years, I think. And now this year and the year before in 2020, we saw need to do integration. So the strategy that you need is something that should be in a physical world, but also in digital, because you need to be where your customers and our clients are, and people want to take advantage of all that they can. So you have to be where they are. Sometimes they need to be online on social media, and sometimes they just want events.
Yes.
Or building a community.
Can you give us an example of a company that you work with that is implementing these hybrid in the most effective way?
Almost all companies are implementing this at the moment. Everyone is using AI, and it's like you almost don't have a big company that is not using for instance, if you take, I'm not working for Amazon, but they have complete, they're a good example of how they're building their physical spaces and also their presence online. So.
Great, Alexandra. So that we don't wait too much
Yes,
to
this is
hear
your turn.
from you, please say a couple of things about yourself, because you have actually you're a founder, you have your own agency, you are in also the marketing space for a very long time, and you've been helping smaller businesses with their communication and marketing and positioning.
Yeah, thank you, Gaia. My name is Alexandra Vukovic. Yes, I'm the owner of the Nura agency, a boutique agency from Belgrade, but working predominantly with tech startups, with B2B tech companies from here and also abroad. I have also an experience in mentoring startups with Science Technology Park in Belgrade and many incubators and accelerators here and also abroad. So in a way, and actually my previous experience in previous agency was working with global big brands such as Uniqlo, Peugeot, etc. But once I founded my own business, I felt that I can relate more with startup owners, with smaller company owners, because I can understand their pain points, and I really felt that I could help them better than all these huge companies. So our focus in Nura is especially that, to help smaller businesses become bigger. So my perspective here on this panel will be talking about practices of these smaller companies who, are limited in budgets, not in creativity, not in talent, but in budgets to distribute their potential globally. And we've seen so many good examples of teams and companies from here competing globally, like shoulder to shoulder with huge startups from abroad, and somehow they showed us that we can do that from here.
Thank you, Alexandra. So going back to one of the big trends that Natasha is talking about, and the hybrid model, where obviously you are having a massive online presence, but you also need to go back to the physical space to
Yes.
have the relationships with the people.
Yes.
How do you see the best practices of that happening here with us?
Yes. Well, somehow Corona made us think that we can be only digital, and it was a huge mistake because we people are physical, living out of this digital world, and yes. For example, the most important practice for this combining digital and offline experience in startup world is being present in your physical way in communities, in events, because I don't know what we are talking about. If we are talking about companies that are selling some B2C stuff, it's the other strategy than when we are speaking about companies selling things to other companies in a way of B2B. But in both terms, what I see in domestic startups, it is very important for founders to be present on those events where their target market is coming. So bringing yourself and your expertise and what you do there, not only to sell what you do, but to talk about things that you know, things that can be useful for your audience, and show up as a industry leader in that sense, thought leader, industry leader, and sharing all your knowledge about things that you've done, about things that you are trying to do, about fails, because in a way, being transparent about failure and success is something that connects people to you as a leader. And when you are as a leader present and trusted, then somehow this trust goes back to your business. So if people believe in you, they will believe in your business. And when companies are small, everything connects to the people who founded them. So in a way, this connection of physical and digital goes back to the founder that needs to be present.
I totally agree with both of you.
Startups is that you all are behind your ideas. So that means that you truly believe. No one goes into startup with like, I want to earn big money. Like everyone that I was working before, it's like, okay, I have really great idea and I want to see how it will go. So basically everything from this year and year before in marketing is to be ethical and to be responsible. And we're back to the roots, like marketing is something that should be, and the brand is something people should trust you. It's trust behind everything. So when you start with your good idea, you're in advantage because you're standing behind it and you're fighting for it. And your marketing should be in the same way. You should choose people to work with you who believe in your idea. Because it's not in marketing, if you don't really believe, and if your team is working, maybe it sounds ugly, just for the money, then it's a big problem, because they have to believe in you, in your idea, so they can share everything.
I agree totally with you. I was just thinking while you were talking about the fact that we at the Info Hub have seen this happening all the time, right? What you're talking about, but somehow something is lost in translation
True.
from the physical point where, we talk and we make connections and people find that valuable. We see the expertise and so on and so forth. And then when we translate it into whatever online content format channels, and then it just sort of loses the strength. I see that happening here a lot with, in our context, a lot less though in the US, for example. That's my experience.
Okay, Alexandra, should we?
Yeah, I was nodding because I completely agree with you, Gaia. What you just said. What I think that America and US companies are great at is this marketing and sales perspective, where they're somehow 2 decades before us, because they realize it's not only selling. Somehow our founders think when they appear online, they need to sell their idea, but in a way you need to build a community, you need to build a trust, and then to sell afterwards, to sell this what you are doing. For example, some great example of building community and building this trust in a form of great narrative is this Vesper AI startup who raised, I don't know, in a Series B, I don't know how many millions. They started only as a Facebook community where they share the knowledge on how to use their tool, which was very innovative. You use AI to help you in writing content marketing, and they showed us how knowing your customer, knowing their pain points, knowing their motivation, and building content around that, not selling Jasper AI, but leading them into this knowledge land where they can use it to build their businesses, to build their online communities, whatever they needed from Jasper. Somehow startups in America know the power of content, know the power of sharing knowledge with their consumers, and know how to meet their customers' needs in this sense of knowing their motivations and pain points and problems, and to give them answer. Here, founders are still in this mode of let me tell you what I do, and we need to transfer that in. Let me help you how you can grow with my with using my business. So this is the shift in perspective that needs to happen here as well, and we need to have founders fully involved in marketing. I don't want to hear, I'm a technical person and I don't know how to write. Well, learn how to write. It's really important for your business to do that. And then after you learn that and build a narrative, then you can hire someone to just scale it. But in the first place, you need to do it.
I have that. I think that one of the most important things is to build a community. And you can start to build community from the scratch. When you're starting with your idea, you can start small. You don't have to be overwhelmed with so many options that there are in marketing. You can choose like 2 channels, for channels that you think that your at the moment clients or customers will be, like LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook. But you cannot do everything from the start. You just do 1 or 2 things. If you're 4 in a team and you can do 2 channels, then it's great. But if you're 1 or 2 persons, you just start small. Yeah, it's like one.
Yeah,
And this is one
You
of the
should
big
start to build a community when you have an idea, and then you should write. So you don't have to be. You don't need the perfect content. You just need the content that will attract people that are similar to you, interested in what you're doing. Because most of startups are in their innovation. It's like not something that everyone knows what it is. So you need to educate your audience, and you can do it while educating yourself. While you're learning things, you can also educate your clients or customers. And while you're doing it, you will build a community that people know how you're developing. They will trust you more. When you have at the moment, when you have like a minimal valuable product, you will already have some people that would like to help you. And one of the things that's like very important in 2023 is that content, to use user generated content, like whatever people are saying about you or give you comments on LinkedIn or any social media, you can use it to generate your own content. They will give you an idea. What are their pain points? What they're interested in? How to improve? Sometimes when you have your like minimal, product, you just don't know, is it right? You can ask questions. People will willingly give you those answers that will really help you. That's the point. Like use, and the content is very important. Like keep it short. If it's video, make a combination of written content and video content. Use audio. There's so many things that you can use. There since December, audio rooms on LinkedIn. It's for free.
Yeah.
You can build community for free. You just invite people who are interested in your idea, and there you will know, from there you will start how to build other things. So from the beginning, you don't need so much money as please forgive my colleague marketers, but you don't really need, you need later when you need like to pay for PPC and everything, because eventually you will need it as you grow. But from the beginning, it's not necessary.
So this is super interesting. And I'd love for the 2 of you to sort of share your wisdom around community building online and offline, because a lot of us have been failing around this subject for many years, right? And nowadays, I was talking to some other colleagues and professionals since Corona hit and so on and so forth. And it seems that audiences, people in general, users, consumers are even more aware of the algorithm, the AI behind, all of the tools that we use online and all of these communities. If we think that Instagram, for example, has a community and so on and so forth, is based on us making us addicted to that use of that app, right? So how does that influence right now the ways in which we can actually build trust through community and
Sandra is nodding.
and-
So.
yes, please.
I'm always nodding because I really do agree on what you are saying. Speaking of algorithm, yeah, algorithms can be really difficult to know, but algorithm is showing users content based on what they are interested in, who they are interacting with. So we as marketers, if we are really providing valuable content, it will get eventually to our users. In the first place, one or two users, then they will share it on their, if we are thinking about, if we are talking about Instagram, they will find maybe some content insightful or inspiring. They will share it on their stories, and many users that following them will see it. So actually, we as marketers, we don't have to pay too much attention to about the algorithm as much as we need to pay attention to, are we useful, are we inspiring to our audience. It depends on what business is doing. We can have highly inspirational posts if business is in this sphere. We can have highly valuable and knowledgeable posts if our business is not. So it depends on what we are doing. But if we focus on our customers, so we need to get back to basics to really know our customers. So speaking about customers, one interview with our truly committed customer can give us a lot of insights about the content we can produce. So we as founders, marketeers, we need to focus on what is valuable to them. And then the algorithm will work for us eventually, wherever we choose to communicate.
It's actually really simple when you look at it. You have to know what is your goal. Like, first of all, really to know your goal. No 11 goals, 100 goals, one goal, because you must go step by step. Of course, you will have a goal, what you want in 10 years, but when you're starting, you have to go step by step. And what I'm seeing working with startups, the biggest mistake is that they cannot narrow down. They're overwhelmed with everything. They start from one idea and then it's truly overwhelming, even for me, when I'm starting to like, okay, you can do this and you can do it. But then you have to narrow down and you put like this milestone in a month, what do you want to do? And then in 2 months and then in 3 months. And what Alexandra said, it's very important, like this, it's the customer-centric strategy is the most important thing. You just need to know where your customers are, what their pain points or needs. It doesn't have to be that they have pain points. Maybe they want to have fun, or it's like you really need to focus who they are and where they are. And the most important thing is what is the tone of the voice message. It's not the same if you're speaking to millennials or to Z generation, or you speak to boomers. Like, you need to know who they are by demographic, by how much they earn, or every kind of your targeted audience is the most important thing, and everything that you do, you're doing accordingly.
Yeah.
So it's the best thing, and you also have to think about. Do you please them when they're buying or using your product? Because there are some researches, and it's amazing that 76% of people they will not buy from you again, even if your product is great, because they didn't have a good experience by buying. By bad experience, they think that they waited too long. If they call or they want to purchase, they waited too long. Or if you shift them from one person to another, like if they want to buy even software, it doesn't matter. And you say, okay, now I will give you someone else who will explain you. And that person said, okay, now I will give you the third person. After second person, you lost them. So it's this customer experience is very, very important thing, and you should have that in mind while working.
So we have 5 more minutes, and this is a huge discussion. So we will for sure continue this in subsequent podcast with you. But I would love for you to sort of pinpoint to another global trend that we should be actually very much on top of.
And where
That
we are
for
not.
you is
Okay.
the priority.
Right.
Exactly. And also maybe go back a little bit and have a reflection, if you will, on something that I do see is happening, and it's an attention about the ethics, right, of communication. The authenticity is a lot more there, the impact and so on and so forth, as a trend more than earlier on. But you pick another one of the big trends.
Okay, so there's so many things. Of course, one thing that I don't see here that people are using enough, and that is globally now very not expansion. It's social commerce. You can sell on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and Pinterest. It's very easy. You can put your shop there, and it's you just can do it quickly.
Yes.
So it's one thing that it's really, there is an area in there where you can quickly sell something. Of course, you need first to educate people so they want to buy, but when they want to buy, yeah, they can do it very quickly. As what I can see in that luck in Western Balkans at the moment, that's it.
Okay.
Beside the ethics, of course.
Alexandra, what's your take on e-commerce?
I mean, I was thinking about maybe explaining one other trend, because Natasha told us interesting thing about the e-commerce and social commerce. I was thinking about maybe going deeper into agile marketing as another trend that is important. And I think here on Balkans, we can do that really good because we are good in hacking systems, in, living a life of a millionaire with a salary of average Serbian salary. We are good at hacking systems. And what is agile marketing is trying new things, learning, constantly trying to receive more with investing less. So we need to just think about marketing as not practice that we need to copy from our competition or aspiring competition or some companies that we are inspired with. We need to find our own way. And when speaking about finding our own way, is authenticity is the number one. Who we are as a company, what are our strengths. And it's not only unique selling proposition. It's about if we have a really handsome founder, let's try to use him or her on the video speaking about their product, like tapping into our own resources and trying to make the best out of it. So marketing is something like a science. You test one thing, it works or not. If not, test another thing, and test. Once you realize what is working, scale it. Scale it in terms of introducing AI, putting money in it, but don't put money before you learn what is working. So this agility in marketing is something that we can be very good at. We just need to shift our perspective in that way. Okay, let's test and see what's working. And it is a trend that globally is talked about, and I think we here have a very good potential to use it. Just we need to feel marketing as a science, as a test and learn method, and embrace it like that.
Do we have time just to add?
Yes,
So
please,
just,
1 minute.
Yeah, because I've noticed that startups are mixing like agile marketing and tactics with strategy.
Yes.
So don't be confused. You need one strategy, and that is to
Yeah.
know your goal, to know your value proposition, and to know your target audience, and to define the channels and your message and everything. Tactics mean, and agile means that you will try. Is LinkedIn working or not? Is TikTok working or not? Is this content working or not? Is video more popular? Is long-term content more popular for your audience or not? So these kind of things are testing, but the basic things should be the same.
Yes. Thank you so much for these comments, because they take us back maybe to the beginning of our conversation, and it's actually a very positive message to the startups and the small businesses that it doesn't have to be so expensive
No.
to do marketing when we are at the beginning developing, our economic activities and so on and so forth. But we have to learn from all of the failures and all of the every day of work that we do and build on it. And I think that, again, to go back, I think that we need to do a lot more of that uh, here in our region, and in our everyday. So let's not be ashamed of what we don't do well the first time. So this is definitely one thing. Since we don't have any more time, I just wanted to ask everybody to please put in some questions for Natasha and for Alexandra, for me, whoever, and we'll get back to you maybe in a few days when we get your questions, and we'll let you know when the next podcast is. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alexandra and
Thank you.
Natasha, and see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.